So I'm here with the editor-in-chief of Brain and Spine, the official journal of ENS, Professor Wilco Peul. Do you see Brain and Spine serving our neurosurgical community at large, but also at ENS members?
I think for neurosurgery and ENS at large, it is giving content to what we do daily and parallel to that, the research. So we try to approach more evidence-based neurosurgery, which is very important for our members, also for the non-scientific members. So I think that's the most important topic, that non-scientific members can also read the journal and the scientific members are able to submit to their own journal.
In the editorial level, how much emphasis do you put on this being, let's say, the house journal of the ENS, serving as a journal at the larger, actually global scale?
Yeah, so I think if you look at the global scale, so we started as European on behalf of the EANS, but also of EUROSPINE.
Yeah.
And we were thinking European, but what happens now is that our members, but also members outside our societies, they like to be part of it. And now you see a global view. So especially the global and humanitarian special topic issue led by Andreas Demetriades and Lucas Rozelik and Magnus Tissel was very much cited, but also downloaded on a worldwide level, while we are a European journal.
Right. So you think we are able to do two things at the same time, both serve the European, our members, but also, let's say, take responsibility on a global stage?
Yeah, I think it's also necessary because as we are Europeans, and the same is true for North America, we have an obligation to look at the global scale. The rest of the world, Asia, Africa, South America is looking also what's happening in Europe. And even North America is submitting a lot of papers because a lot of scientific studies are being performed in Europe.
Let's say a young neurosurgeon wanting to submit a paper to Brain and Spine, what should I look for?
That's a very good question. If you are a young neurosurgeon, you should be aware that something to be written down is not directly science. So we did now do lectures during the training committee meetings and also during the trainings courses about how to write a scientific paper and how to perform a proper study. These presentations will be online the next coming year for young people starting to write papers. But I think for now, a young neurosurgeon should aim to look at a coach. And if there's no coach or scientific supervisor in their own hospital, then look for a university hospital in the neighborhood.
Where do you see the journal going in the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a dangerous question because we have now such good results, which I didn't expect.
And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. And you too as a society, because it is a journal of our society. And what I hope for the next 5 years, that it is owned by our members. ENS members and EUROSPINE members feel that it's their journal, not of some gray-haired editor-in-chief with an editorial board. And I think that our journal has to mature to a certain level that nobody can escape reading Brain and Spine when they work in neurosurgery.
What would, let's say, attach them to Brain and Spine? Which papers are you looking for? Which papers are being read, downloaded, cited?
When we started, we wanted to include basic science and also hardcore epidemiological, methodological science. Now we are looking more and more for clinical studies. And what is cited most is consensus paper, guidelines, reviews, especially systematic reviews. But we know the systematic review, constructing and writing takes a lot of time, but we are looking for that. I don't like to see case reports without review. So case reports without review will be neglected and rejected because those are not probably read by some, but not cited and not reread and downloaded.
Right. And where do you see Brain and Spine, again on a global scale, positioned in this neurosurgical journal marketplace, so to speak?
Yeah, so if we talk about entrepreneurship and as a company with Elsevier, we are now at the level that we can compete together with Acta Neurosurgica and with World Neurosurgery. We foresee that our field of play will be together with both North American journals. So the Journal of Neurosurgery and Neurosurgery will be our competitors.
Right.
And depending on the availability of good science from Europe and also from North America and the rest of the world, we can reach that.
Should I, as ENS president, encourage people to engage more so you have a broader base of reviewership?
Yeah, I think it's very important that our process time, although some people think it's quick, I think it's slow, and that's because we have a lack of reviewers. So people who do science and are able to review very likely be admitted to our journal. Then I will look at the track record and then they can be involved in reviewers. And the good reviewers will be the future editorial board members.
So what should the prospective reviewer do?
Just submit by the Elsevier website, I want to be a reviewer for brain and spine. Send in his or her CV so that we can look at is the track record okay? Do we have all the publications? And PhD is not necessarily necessary, but you should have some research background to be admitted.
And this link you will find at the Brain and Spine webpage, homepage?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
So you have
Yeah. Good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great work.